Hey everybody, it is supper time again. And tonight I am making pork marsala with portobello mushrooms and mashed potatoes and corn. So I bought these little portobello mushrooms, I sliced them up, and I put butter in the pan and I sauteed until they kind of released their liquids and kind of firm up again. Alright, now I'm going to put this off to the side. And next, I am going to salt and pepper my pork and get those frying up. I make my pork marsala a little different than what you normally get in restaurants. I kind of modified it for what our family likes. Now I have an extra guest today, so I am going to put in the chicken breast because I didn't have another package of. So I'll be kind of mixing a lot of flavors here today. Alright, so let's turn that on high. You can see I got a nice messy sink. I'm a messy cook. Alright, turn that on to high. And this is the Marsala wine that I use. It's at a local liquor store. Marsala wine is a fortified wine. So you have to buy it at the liquor store. You can't buy it at a grocery store. I'm going to be adding some minced garlic and some basil. And I'm going to be making a gravy, essentially, with it, a Marsala gravy. And I'm going to be using a combination of chicken and beef. This is the base that I buy. I buy it from Sam's. I have this in my kitchen all the time. I don't buy broth already pre-made. I make my own. And this is the base that I use it with. So I do everything with this base. Alright, getting some color there. Alright. So we're going to let that sit until they get a good color on both sides. That looks pretty good. Yeah. Today was a pretty busy day. I cleaned out one of the upstairs bedrooms. Jared, our stepson, my stepson is moving back home, and I needed to clean out a bedroom because I was kind of using it as storage. And so I spent the morning cleaning out, trying to get that ready, so that he could move into the front bedroom because he's got better Wi-Fi there. Alright, one of the unusual things about a big old home that we live in is that Wi-Fi just does not want to go through the walls. And with a combination of plaster walls and aluminum siding, Wi-Fi is a very iffy thing. I have no Wi-Fi service in my kitchen, which is really kind of unfortunate, but at least I can still record these. Okay, now we're getting some wonderful color here. Now, like I said, most times at restaurants, chicken marsala will just have a little bit of the sauce over the meat itself, but I create more of a gravy is what I do. And therefore we have more to cover the potatoes and So I just use a little gob of beef. Yeah, probably about that much. Maybe a teaspoon. And we'll do more of the chicken. Oh, probably a couple of tablespoons worth. And then the Marsala wine. I just have enough to make this batch. And Marsala wine adds such an amazing flavor. Such an amazing flavor to your food. Okay, now we're going to get some basil, and yep, it's from our garden. I dried it in our dehydrator, crumbled it up, and I keep it fairly large chunks, leaves, so when it comes time to using it, I roll it in my hand, and that reactivates the oils that are left in the basil. All right. Now I'm going to let this simmer for a while. Got a really good color working here. Let's see if I have enough base. Oh yeah, that's good. Ooh, let's put in some garlic. It's kind of like spouting out. All right, that will do wonders. All right, and I don't add any extra salt because I salted the meat before I pan fried it. Now I'm going to make a little, so I probably use maybe, a cup and a half of water to make my gravy. Now this is my cheater too. I'm going to use a little bit of cornstarch. I know that for you fancy cooks, you're probably grabbing your pearls and gasping for air, but every once in a while when I want to make my gravy a little thicker, but I want to keep it clear, I use cornstarch. It does add a little bit of flavor to it. You can kind of tell it, but my meals are quick, they're easy, and I don't want to spend all my time boiling down the gravy and condensing the flavors down. I like quick meals that go fast because, like all of you, I got stuff I gotta do. Alright, a little bit less here. Okay. I suppose I could tell a little bit about myself. I haven't told a lot of you guys, sometimes first time you're meeting me and you're wondering what's our life like. I am a house husband. I have been for 11 years now, I believe. When the kids were young, we homeschooled, and my wife has her own bookkeeping company. She works very hard. She's got many clients. And so she often does long hours. And so I had a career in graphic design, but when her business kept on growing, I came home to take care of the home, take care of the kids, and help her out a little bit in the bookkeeping company. So my main job is to make sure that the clothes are washed and the food is made so that no one's running around naked and no one's hungry. right, a little bit longer on this. If I wanted to make this a little fancier, and if I had company coming over, I would be making the mashed potatoes by scratch, and peeling the potatoes and boiling them. But in the evening, I usually make, on an everyday meal, I usually make instant potatoes. I buy large bulk and I keep them in glass jars. These are my potato flakes. I buy the large package from Sam's and I break them down into these half-gallon ball jars. And I also do food preservation. So this is 5 years old. This was in August of 2015. And what I do for long-term storage is I put in my dried product, and I have little packages called oxygen absorbers. And I place those on top, 2 little packages, and then I seal them with the ring and the lid, and within a matter of 15-20 minutes, they'll pop. And they'll seal. All the oxygen is gone. And they will last. This tastes just as fresh as the day I put them in. And I've got 2 big pantries, one here in my kitchen and one in my my hallway. And I keep pasta and potato flakes, dehydrated hash browns. I have a freeze dryer, and so I dehydrate fruits and vegetables, and I've been dehydrating some meat. And so I have a fairly good sized pantry, and I've been depleting it lately, so I need to start filling it back up. All right, that is firming up good. Let's see what we got. Knife here. Okay, that looks good. I think by the time we make the gravy, and I'm going to place the portobellos, the sauteed portobellos back in. Ooh, I love mushrooms. Love, love, love mushrooms. All right, and then we have a little slurry of, looks like I'm going to have to add a little bit more water. It looks like I've boiled it down a little bit more than I normally do. Now you make your mashed potatoes however you want to make them. I have the recipe, the milk and butter and water in the microwave. Heat that back up. And we'll start that. All right, let's turn this back up again so we can get a little bubbling action here for our cornstarch slurry. I put the meat onto one side and kind of scooped the mushrooms off to the side. So I've got a little bit of space here so that when I start pouring the cornstarch, I can quickly stir it in so that it doesn't coagulate and start getting lumps. Okay, starting to boil again. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah. Let's see if we've got enough here. Okay, looks like that might work. Let's see what happens when we distribute it all. We also have a half-acre urban farm. We have been farming on our half-acre in town for 8 years. And we raise chickens, duck, and quail. And we also have a good-sized garden. This pork that I have and the chicken I have is not from us. We purchased them at a store. Okay, that is excellent thickness. Okay, now okay, and I'm going to, and again, I just go by a certain consistency. We don't measure, as you can see, but I put in enough to, like I said, I have, it's a third a cup for this recipe. There's a third a cup of water, 2/3 cup of milk, a couple tablespoons of butter, and a little palm full of salt. Okay, a little bit more. Now, just in case something happens with me and Jamie needs to be able to make, and Jamie, my wife, needs to be able to make some supper, I put the recipe on the lid. Okay. Just a tad more. And I need to stick. That's better. That's better. That makes me happy. Okay, I'm gonna stick the corn in the microwave as well. Okay, now we will be letting this kind of simmer just a little bit longer and make sure that the meat is well done. Well, not well done, but done. Don't want well done food. I want it done just right so that it's still kind of juicy and moist. Alright. Well, that looks amazing. Did you see that? Look at that wonderful gravy. And I make, like I said, I make a lot of gravy so that we can just slather it all over the mashed potatoes. Okay. Ooh. All right. Get a bigger spoon here. And a bigger spoon here. At one point, I'm going to give a tour of my kitchen. I do things organize my kitchen a certain way, and a lot of what I have is hung up on shelves and on hooks, so that everything is really quick and accessible. I don't have a lot of cupboards. I live in, like I said, I'm sure multiple times, I live in a very old house. And even though the kitchen is fairly good sized, I have very little cupboards. And I've got lots and lots of windows, which I love, but I can't have any upper cupboards because of my large windows. So I have shelves in front of them, and I'll give you a tour at one point. So anyway, I am pretty much ready. I've got some corn, mashed potatoes, and the chicken marsala. Well, chicken and pork marsala. And I also have this caramel apple salad I just got done making. I made a video of that as well. So, if you're on YouTube, and you see this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and also like my videos if you like them. And we are going to have some supper. I'm hungry.